Greetings, friends. This is Elizabeth Shermer and the Alchemy Mystery School with our Leo full moon message. The Leo full moon occurs at 11:28 a.m. 11:16 a.m. Pacific time on Thursday, January 28th. We're in an amazing period of creation. The rate of acceleration and rate of change and the rate of evolution of our human family and our world is unprecedented. And the opportunity we have at each new moon and full moon, especially during these big times of change, is to take a breath, take a pause, and regroup. I love personally the power and the inspiration of diving into these points of choice every 2 weeks. And so I'm inspired to bring this message to you today too, to give you the opportunity to take a breath and pause and regroup and harness your energies moving forward. This full moon is very much about the power of choice and the opportunity you have right now to embrace all aspects of your experience so that you can connect fully to the truth of who you are and to the infinite possibilities that exist in every moment. So as we begin, let's take a breath and ask for each of us experiencing this message to receive the highest and best. Okay. So I would like to say first that every full moon is always an opportunity for new realization and new awareness, that when the moon is full, the sun and moon are opposite. The moon is reflecting back the sun's light, the sun's consciousness through the processes of growth. The moon offers personal energy to each of us to help us align and calibrate with our own highest and best. So I'm referencing this because 2 weeks ago, the Capricorn new moon for this year represented an enormous fulcrum point of creation. And if you're not sure, if you would like to review that, I would recommend going back to my message from 2 weeks ago, my newsletter message from 2 weeks ago, because the Capricorn new moon this year is bringing forward all that has been to create a new anchoring point and an opportunity for us to connect in a very concrete and tangible way with our own capacity to choose. And what's happening through these accelerated powers of creation is the further activation of multiple dimensions and multiple timelines of experience. What we're experiencing this coming year is the opportunity to more clearly discern what dimension we're living in any moment. And by discerning more clearly where we're putting our focus in every moment, we can participate more consciously in the world that we want to create, both in our personal lives and together as a collective. So what I'm going to be sharing today in the full moon message is some practical ways that we can continue to strengthen our ability to pay attention in every moment and use our experience in every moment as a positive opportunity for growth and healing and change. So as you know, I work with the tarot cards to offer symbols and archetypes for these universal astrological energies of the lunar cycle. And the Leo moon, the card for the Leo moon, is represented by the Lust card. Lust is the name of this card in the Thoth Tarot. In other tarot decks, it's called Strength. And it represents the fiery energy of self-confidence, self-expression, the lust of life, the luster of the true inner light of who you are. And the image here is of Beauty and the Beast claiming all of their inner light and preparing to rise. And so this is a message about what we can call Kundalini, or your inner fire, your inner emotional strength, your inner emotional power, and the power to use your heart to connect fully with the truth of who you are, all of it. And in doing so, find new capacities for healing and inner strength. And then the sun right now is in Aquarius, and in the card for Aquarius is the star. And the star is this is a beautiful symbol of Aquarian consciousness, of higher mind. So while Leo is the light of our inner fire, Aquarius is the light of the stars, of consciousness, of the collective. And so the Leo moon, Leo is personal energy, personal inner light, and Aquarius is social and collective light, our inspiration to participate in something larger than ourselves. And so every time the sun and moon appear, both with the Leo full moon now and then the Aquarius full moon this summer, it's an extraordinarily creative time to connect with your light and to work with these powers of transformation in new ways. So before I dive into the tarot reading, which I'm really excited to share, let me just say a little bit. The Prince of Wands is also on our altar. The Prince of Wands is the court card in tarot for Leo, and the Prince of Wands represents your capacity now in a personal way to feel your love of life, to experience your inner vitality, your inner courage, your sense of adventure, and your willingness to move forward, to leave the past behind. The past is over. The past has served us and created a foundation, and what's happening now is the creation of a whole new world. And every time I meditate with my guides about the blessings of this year and how to best focus on this year, I'm guided over and over and over to connect with creativity, to connect with curiosity, and to connect with the truth that what is coming has never been. That we don't need to base our ideas now on how things have been in the past. It's a brand new world, a brand new day, and there are new possibilities for creation and new creations coming that we can't even dream of. And so knowing all of this, actually, I'll say a little bit about the chart because it also emphasizes something special about this full moon, and then we'll look at the spread. So the full moon is represented by this long red line, which is the opposition of the sun here and the moon here. And then the sun is surrounded by 5 other planets, and that represents this amazing stellium that is in Capricorn and Aquarius right now, representing the shift of our consciousness from the old world and the old ways things have been to new realizations and new creations that we are bringing forward together. And then the full moon in Leo is reflecting back all of these potentials of higher mind and new realizations with the fire and the personal inspiration and the deep emotional courage of Leo. So that's the opportunity for full moon realizations. And then what you can see very dramatically is what we call a T-square. This is a really it's a very powerful T-square formed both by Uranus and Mars, which are still conjunct. They were conjunct at the new moon, and they're a little bit farther apart now, but they're still very close together and influencing each other. And a T-square most generally represents the need to take action. The shadow of a T-square is feeling stressed, feeling pressured, feeling trapped, or feeling like you need to be reactionary against something. Those experiences are simply signs of the need to take a breath, to recalibrate, and realize that you have the opportunity within you to make a choice. So we get to practice this quality of squares every first quarter moon and every last quarter moon. When in every lunar cycle, those are periods where we get to make a choice, take a stand, and make a decision to put ourselves in the direction of momentum. So the big piece of advice here right now from our guides and from the energies of the year is don't feel like you have to make long-term, huge decisions right now. Things are changing very fast, but what you do need to do is be flexible in the moment because things are changing fast. Avoid feeling trapped or stressed or anxious about the inspiration to act. And when you feel that way, just realize it's underlying energy and of the opportunities that you haven't fully experienced yet. So just take a breath and realize there's an opportunity to recalibrate. Mars and Uranus working together provide this enormous energy of the opportunity of total transformation. And so Mars is the personal opportunity to connect with your own highest and best, with your individual good, to make a personal expression, to take a personal action. Uranus is the energy of total transformation. It's revolutionary. It's restructures. It breaks apart whatever is out of date in order to pave the way for something new to be born. The image that I like to work with Uranus is a lightning bolt. The flash of realization is also the flash that destroys the past. And so when Mars and Uranus are working together, there's the opportunity to face your fear with courage and with confidence, and face your fears of change with courage and confidence, and be present to new realizations of what is possible. This is a remarkable opportunity at the Leo full moon to receive new insights of what is in the highest and best for you, completely released from anything that has been in the past, including ideas of who you are, projections of who you are, and assumptions you've made of limitations or the trajectory you think your life is going to or supposed to take. Everything is open now and ready to elevate to something new. So be willing to release your ideas of who and what you are, and also who and what other people are. Be open to new creation, new beginnings. The past is over. Okay? Let me just take a breath. See if there's anything else to bring in before we do our spread. The past is over. That's what the guides are saying. You can believe that. Our work last year in 2020 was to go deep, to take the opportunity for a retreat, to connect with personal practice, to reconnect within, to have quiet, to have a period of inaction in order to return to our sense of self and reevaluate priorities in life and find the inner stillness from busyness. Last year required us to revisit our grounding practices, our embodiment practices, our boundaries, and all of our centering so that we could return in the moment and strengthen our own sense of inner guidance and trust. Those abilities will be continuing to strengthen in the year coming forward. As a collective, we did an amazing job last year of showing up for the challenges and the opportunities. And now what's happening in 2021 is an activation of new timelines, new potentials, new possibilities, new dimensions of consciousness. And so that's the formal launch that we had 2 weeks ago with the Capricorn new moon and the end of the year-long activation from the Capricorn conjunctions. So I'm going to talk a little bit about in the spread and then at the conclusion about ways that you can navigate timelines. It mostly has to do with your ability to pay attention in your moment, in the present moment, to your feelings, to your emotions, to your thoughts, so that you can monitor what frequency you're in. we're, as a collective, we're evolving from third dimensional frequencies and third dimensional consciousness, which is based on fear and scarcity and limitation. And moving through all of the dimensions of what we call the astral world in the fourth dimension to fifth dimensional consciousness. Fifth dimensional consciousness is based on holism. It's based on the ability to embrace both sides of contrast, both sides of perspectives, both within and without, the qualities of calm and trust and joy is a fifth dimensional, authentic joy is a fifth dimensional experience, authentic love, compassion, all of the higher emotions that we already have come from the fifth dimension. Emotions based on fear, worry, doubt, scarcity, blame, and judgment are limiting beliefs about reality. Those are based in the old past of the third dimensional realm. And then if you want to pay attention to how you can travel between the two, emotions of appreciation and curiosity and calm are the way that you can elevate out of fear and step into a more stable platform. Curiosity and appreciation can be cultivated. They're muscles. And so those are very practical tools you can use as you continue to strengthen your ability to move back and forth between the worlds. All the worlds are literally happening simultaneously right now, multiple dimensions between what many call a bifurcation between third dimensional belief systems and consciousness and fifth dimensional belief systems and consciousness. And we are together individually and together as a collective, expanding and moving and growing and evolving. Okay. So knowing that we have this opportunity with this beautiful Leo full moon during this important month of new points, anchoring points of choice and ability to choose our own point of awareness from inner guidance, and knowing that this powerful Mars-Uranus activation will be giving us new opportunities to choose, new realizations, new awareness, if we're ready to show up for it and willing to show up for it, new ability to face our fears in order to expand into greater realizations of possibility. So I was excited to pull cards this morning. I did it early when I got up this morning, and this was one of the times when the cards practically flew from the deck. And there's a beautiful harmony to our spread. I'm excited to share it with you. If you're new to these videos, the full moon spread is designed for each of us to receive some practical advice about how we can step into these potentials. So I always like to start with the center card, which represents mind and awareness. And we received adjustment. Adjustment, you may remember if you followed the new moon message 2 weeks ago, adjustment was the center in our previous spread too. This is one of the most powerful teaching cards in the entire deck, and it has to do with the ability to come to balance in all circumstances in your life through the power of inner alignment. The priestess is balancing on the point of a sword, and what that means is her choice to connect within to the principles of higher truth in order to maintain this very dynamic and very strong and resilient and flexible balance between her inner world and her outer world. This is you using your tools now to go to another level of ability to be resilient and to welcome all external circumstances in order to learn something more about yourself. The sword represents the mind, the higher mind, and it's also the symbol for Aquarius. Okay, so ability to be resilient, to balance, to choose, to use your inner authority and your powers of grounding and boundaries and inner guidance to come into alignment through inner strength, to learn what you need to learn. And then it's beautiful, the card in the position of circumstances, and the body is the Eight of Wands, which is a perfect complement to the adjustment card. It also has, I don't know if you can see, but the adjustment card, one of the teachings of the adjustment card is based in the geometry of the octahedron. And we also work with that geometry with the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands swiftness represents fast-moving energy. It represents illuminated awareness. It represents consciousness. And it represents the way transformation and change moves through us very fast, and how important it is to remain balanced and to use our tools, which is the octahedron in the background, to remain balanced so that we can participate in the transformative qualities of change. And that's both the Leo full moon is very fiery, but the transformational powers of change is definitely the Mars and Uranus conjunction right now. And this new opportunity for realizations of new possibilities. The rainbow in this card represents the trust in fortunate change, and that knowing that we are always held, we are always cared for, we are always protected. And especially when you focus on that trust and you use your tools to maintain alignment, then the new realizations, the swiftness is the dynamic quality of life that heals and transforms and transcends minute to minute. And in this particular context, it definitely invokes the opportunity for blessings. What the guides are saying right now, since this is in your body and in circumstances, with the rainbow is look for the blessings. Focus on the blessings. Even in times of challenge, ask for what you can learn. Ask for the opportunity. And move to your heart for calm, and when you need to, ask for help, so that you can maintain your balance, and then the blessings will unfold. And in the position of spirit, we receive the card for Leo, the lust card. So this position, lust in spirit, let me just drop in because there are so many teachings we could talk about here. There's a very special relationship between the adjustment card and the lust card, and it has to do with the balance of inner alignment, which is the adjustment card, and our willingness to embrace all that we are, which is the lust card. So what, in the position of spirit, what this is saying is ask for help finding the blessings in everything, including those parts of yourself that you are learning to incorporate. In this painting, Beauty and the Beast are incorporating all of the shadow within in order to rise. Ooh, excuse me, they flew away. In order to rise and emerge. It's a painting of Kundalini rising. And so in the position of spirit, the message is when you're having trouble with alignment, when you're having trouble with finding the blessing, ask for help. You are not ever alone, and especially now in this very important and intense time of growth in our world, you are surrounded by more helpers than you can even imagine. So remember to ask for help for this process and know that you are being guided and that you are being supported and that the healing is happening. Trust the process, trust the plan. And that's emphasized by the fourth card in our spread. The fourth card represents something else to consider. It is very often integrated with the card for mind. And the something else to consider today is the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands represents this very powerful quality of you right now stepping into your power, to your light, to your confidence, to your fire, to your compassion. This represents your ability to have compassion for yourself and others on our healing journey. And there's a beautiful story here that I'd like to tell, which has to do with the queen with her panther, who is now a leopard. The queen and the panther were dark, and as they took on their fire, they began to turn to gold. And that's very much also the process that is told in this card of turning to gold, turning to light through the power of transformation of our own inner light. And at the last moment, as the queen is turning to fire, she puts her hand on her black panther, who is turning into a golden lion, to keep him with his spots. He becomes a leopard. And together, as they move forward, the spots remind them to honor where they've come from and to honor the challenges and to honor the beauty of the mystery and the beauty of the unknown. So this is a very special message for each of us right now, is to trust the mystery of this time and the beauty of this time. And if we are able to work with our alignment and our inner authority, we will find more support, more guidance, more calm, more clarity, more joy than we have ever imagined possible, even in the midst of challenge and uncertainty. The challenge and uncertainty exists in the world because we're in a time of change. The alignment within has never been stronger. So the guides are encouraging you, if you need support at this time, to seek out helpers, to seek out practitioners, to seek out friends, to support you on your path. We are traveling together. This is not a solo journey by any means, and we need each other right now. So celebrate the time, celebrate the light, celebrate the birth of new light, celebrate your power to choose, and hold curiosity in the coming days for new qualities and capacities to choose, to observe your feelings and emotions, to use the emotional scale to navigate. No judgment when you are feeling worried, afraid, fearful. Perhaps consider that you are tired and be kind to yourself. When I am feeling those ways, I operate in the same way as if my immune system is low and I'm running a cold. I rest. I take care of myself because I recognize that my emotional system or my nervous system is tired. So pay attention to your feelings, honor your feelings. We are moving fast, we're healing a lot, and do your best to use curiosity and use your breath and use calm and trust and prayer, calling on helpers for support to return to balance. And I wish you a blessed full moon celebration and a beautiful month ahead. I'm so happy we're on this journey together. I'm really eager for our year and for all that we are about to learn. Thank you. This is Elizabeth with our Leo full moon message.